The fluorescent lights in GameWorld had developed a rhythm. 3 hours had passed since Travis had returned with Mrs. Okafor, and the store had settled into a cadence that wasn't quite normal but had stopped being panic. Mrs. Okafor sat in the break room, wrapped in a blanket Elena had found in the back, holding a cup of instant coffee like it was a tether to something familiar. Travis stood by the window, watching the parking lot. The sun was high now, turning the asphalt into a glare that hurt to look at. But in that glare, he saw movement. He turned to Elena. "Elena," he said, his voice low. "There's someone out there, walking across the lot." Elena looked up from the radio. "What?" "There's someone out there," Travis repeated, "walking across the lot." Elena joined him at the window. A figure was indeed moving. A woman in a blue jacket, carrying what looked like a canvas grocery bag. She wasn't running. She was walking with purpose, scanning the storefronts as she moved. "She doesn't look armed," Elena said. Travis glanced at her. "You don't look armed either, but I saw you with that box cutter earlier." Elena almost smiled. "That's different. I know me." The woman stopped in front of GameWorld. She looked at the sign, then at the window where Travis and Elena were standing. She didn't wave. She just waited. "I'm going to open the door," Travis said. "Travis," Elena warned. "She's alone. She's carrying groceries or blankets or something she thinks she needs. She's looking for the same thing we are." Travis moved to the door. Elena picked up the box cutter and positioned herself behind the counter, out of sight but ready. Travis unlocked the deadbolt. The door creaked open. The woman stepped in slowly, her eyes adjusting to the dim fluorescent light. She was maybe 50, with gray-streaked hair pulled back in a practical ponytail, and the kind of face that suggested she'd spent years telling children to sit down and pay attention. "Hi," Travis said. "Hi, I'm Bev. I was a school bus driver. I am a school bus driver. I don't know if there's school anymore. I'm Travis. This is Elena. We don't have any authority here. We're just the ones who were already inside." "The store was open?" Bev asked. "We broke in, after." Bev nodded slowly, assessing. "Smart. I've been walking for 2 hours. My apartment building's power went out. The stairwells were dark. I could hear people inside their units, but no one was answering doors. I didn't want to be alone in the dark." Elena emerged from behind the counter, the box cutter no longer visible. "We have water, some food from the break room, a radio that picks up emergency broadcast." "Do you have a plan?" Bev asked. The question hung in the air. Travis looked at Elena. Elena looked at the floor. "No," Travis admitted. "We're figuring it out hour by hour. We have supplies for maybe 3 days if we're careful. 4 people now, counting Mrs. Okafor in the back." "5, if you let me stay," Bev said. "I don't need much. I can keep watch. I used to drive 40 kids in a metal tube through rush hour traffic. I know how to watch for trouble." Travis looked at Elena, then decided. "Okay, but we lock the doors at dark, no exceptions, and if we have to move fast, you move fast." Bev smiled, small but real. "I drove a bus, honey. I don't do anything fast except emergency braking." They came in a pickup that sputtered and died in the parking lot. 2 young men, 20s, one in a tire shop uniform and the other in jeans and a flannel that had seen better days. Travis went out to meet them, leaving Elena and Bev watching from the window. "Hey," Travis said. "Hey," the younger brother said, exhausted, shaking. "Our shop closed. Obviously, but we were there when it happened. The boss was right there, talking about brake pads, and then he wasn't." "We tried the hospital," the older brother added, harder, defensive. "Line was 3 blocks. We tried the police station. They told us to go home. We don't have a home. Our apartment building's on fire." Travis looked at the truck. It had a tire shop logo on the door. The bed was empty except for a toolbox and a half case of bottled water. "You know how to fix things?" Travis asked. "I fix trucks," the older brother said. "Can you fix a generator?" "We have one in the back storage room. It hasn't been maintained in years." The brothers looked at each other. The younger one shrugged. "We can try." "I'm not saying this is a sanctuary," Travis said carefully. "I'm saying we have walls and a door that locks. If you help with the generator, you can stay." The older brother studied him. "Who put you in charge?" "Nobody. I'm just the one standing here." The older brother looked at the GameWorld, at his younger brother, at the empty parking lot that stretched toward a city that wasn't working anymore. "I'm Marcus," he said. "This is my brother Darnell. Not the preacher, the tire guy." Travis almost smiled. "Travis, and that's the first joke I've heard in 5 hours. Keep them coming." He was just a kid, 17 maybe. He came walking out of the shadows between the strip mall buildings as the light was failing, and Travis almost didn't see him until the boy was 10 feet from the door. "Stop there," Travis said, sharp, protective. The kid stopped. He had a backpack that looked too heavy and shoes that had walked too far. His face was blank in a way that Travis recognized. Shock wearing thin, leaving something fragile underneath. "I'm not sick. I'm not armed. I'm just looking for a place that has lights. I've been walking since this morning. My apartment was on the 3rd floor. The elevator stopped. I couldn't use the stairs in the dark." Travis unlocked the door. The kid stepped in and immediately sat down on the floor, his backpack still on, as if his legs had simply stopped working. "What's your name?" Travis asked Jumley. Corey Mitchell. I was watching a show when it happened. My mom was making dinner. She was right there. The pan was still on the stove. I turned it off after. I didn't know what else to do." Elena appeared with water. Corey drank it without really seeming to notice. "How long were you alone?" Elena asked softly. 3 days, I think. I kept the door locked. I ate what was in the fridge, but the water stopped working this morning, and I could hear people in the other apartments, sometimes, but they wouldn't answer when I knocked. I didn't want to be alone anymore." Bev emerged from the back. She looked at the boy on the floor, and her face shifted. The teacher face, the one that had handled scraped knees and panic attacks, and the occasional snake someone brought for show and tell. "Come on, Corey," she said, warm, commanding. "Let's get you up. There's a couch in the break room. It's not comfortable, but it's not the floor." Corey looked up at her, and something in his expression cracked and started to heal. "Thank you," he whispered.
They gathered in the main store area as the sun disappeared completely. 7 people now. Travis looked at them. Elena, fierce and uncertain. Mrs. Okafor, quiet and watching. Bev, practical and already organizing. Marcus and Darnell, brothers with grease under their fingernails and hollow eyes. Corey, wrapped in a blanket on a folding chair, finally not alone. "I don't know what we're doing here," Travis said, standing before them, uncertain. "I want to be clear about that. I'm not a leader. I'm a guy who sells video games. 3 days ago I was worried about my quarterly sales numbers." Marcus snorted. 3 days ago I was worried about brake pads. Doesn't mean we don't do what we have to do." Elena spoke quietly. "The radio said there are recovery centers, government-run. They have supplies, medical care, organization, and registration," Bev added thoughtfully. "Lists, names. They said something about accounting for survivors." Travis felt something tighten in his chest. Something about that doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It feels like giving up the only thing we have left. Our names, where we are. Mrs. Okafor spoke for the first time, her voice clear. "My niece is a nurse. She would know about such places. But I cannot reach her. The phones click." Corey looked up from his blanket. "My neighbor went to one, the recovery center. He said he'd come back and tell me how it was. He didn't come back." Silence filled the store. The fluorescent lights hummed their 3-second cycle. Outside, the dark was absolute. No streetlights, no headlights, just the absence of a world that had forgotten how to glow. "Okay," Travis decided. "We stay here tonight. We lock the doors. Marcus, you said you could look at the generator. If we can get it working, we have power if the grid fails. Bev, you said you could keep watch. The back door has a window. Elena and I will take shifts. Mrs. Okafor, you should rest. Corey should sleep. He's been alone long enough." Travis sat by the back window, watching the loading dock area behind the strip mall. The moon was bright enough to cast shadows, and in those shadows he saw movement sometimes. Animals, maybe, or just the wind shifting debris. Elena joined him, her footsteps soft on the industrial carpet. "You didn't ask for this," she said quietly. "What?" "Them. Us. Whatever this is becoming. You didn't ask to be in charge." Travis didn't look away from the window. "I'm not in charge. I'm the one who couldn't say no when people showed up. There's a difference." "Is there?" She sat down beside him. In the dim light, she looked younger and older at the same time, a face that had seen too much too fast. "My father used to say that leadership isn't about wanting it. It's about not walking away when it finds you." Travis looked at her, surprised. "You never talk about him." "I talked to him this morning, before the lines went down. He's in Laredo. Or he was. I don't know if he's still there or if he's anywhere." She didn't cry. Travis had learned that about her. Elena didn't cry.
She just became very still, very focused, like a machine that had shifted into a lower gear to conserve fuel. "We'll figure out a way to find out," Travis said gently. "When the phones come back, when the world comes back." "If the world comes back," Elena whispered. The lights flickered. 3 seconds on, half second off. The rhythm that had become their clock, their heartbeat, their proof that something was still working, even when everything else had stopped. Travis looked at the 7 people scattered through the darkened store, sleeping, resting, surviving. He hadn't asked for this, but he hadn't walked away either. 7, he whispered to himself. "We're 7 now." "Seven's a good number," Elena said quietly. "In some books it's the number of completion." "Or just the beginning," Travis replied. Outside, the world was dark and waiting. Inside, 7 people breathed in the dark, and for the first time since the rapture, Travis didn't feel alone.